Hey guys, today I'm going to talk about Suits Season 6, Episode 4, called Turn. We finally see a title being applied throughout the episode. So we see Sean Cahill bringing the deal to Harvey, which can get Mike free, where if he turns on Kevin, his roommate, he can go out and be with Rachel. And we see that Harvey brings the deal to Mike, and Mike is really conflicted, because since in the last couple of weeks, he's had a really big bonding connection with Kevin, the guy who he barely knows anything about what he did that got him into prison. But apparently they're best friends because Kevin helped save him like maybe once or twice and took a beating for him. Honestly, I do see a connection between Kevin and Mike in the show, but I don't feel that it's so much where Mike would just give up getting out of prison just so he could like be loyal to his friend. And I know that Donna said that to Harvey, that without Mike's loyalty, V would be nothing. But being that loyal to a person who you don't know, who you barely know actually, and only because he saved you maybe once or twice, and he actually did betray you in a way when he let the Frank guy take the room in the first place. Even though he admits it's wrong, he still did it, and Mike still doesn't know why he's in the prison in the first place. What if he killed 10 guys, Mike? Are you still gonna be loyal to him? Seriously. I know the Kevin character seemed to be good, but what if he wasn't? Like, I just don't see the connection between Mike and Kevin being that strong for Mike to say no to a deal that can get him back to his old life. And that brings me to another thing. I really do want to know what Kevin did because they've been holding on it for such a long time. I hope it's not something really cheesy where we find out that Kevin is actually the guy when he was a kid or when he was a teenager. He's the one who ran over Mike's parents, and then Mike does want to get him to go to jail now. Please don't make it something that cheesy. I hope it's not. I know it's not gonna be. Sometimes show like to have that really big twist out of nowhere. But I believe in Suits. Don't do that, writers. So moving on to Rachel's Innocence Project that she takes up from last episode, and we see her going in to meet the prisoner who she's taking the project for, and she's like, "Hi, I'm the paralegal. I'm the lawyer student who can help you." And I love the guy's reaction. "I've been sitting in this jail for years, God know how many. I've been writing them letters, and they send a law student? Are you kidding me?" But something I'm getting really sick of is that Rachel has to keep proving herself. And it's annoying me. Like, every time something happens, she just can't have a normal conversation. She has to read out her entire resume. Like, "I've done this, I've done that, this is me." And she does it every time. Like, she goes to her professor and she's like, "Professor, I have a case." And the professor isn't even being mean to her. He's just talking to her. He's asking the questions, and then out of nowhere, she's like, "Well, I've been a paralegal for 8 years at Pierce Inspector Lit, so I know what I'm doing." I'm like, well, you don't have to do that. Just say, "I've been working, I know what I'm doing, and I have this to prove to you." And she could just prove her case the same way, but no. She has to be like, "I'm a paralegal for the last 8 years. I work with the best lawyers in the world." She has to do that almost every episode, I feel like. Remember in the couple last episodes where she had to be like, "Well, do you know what I can do to you?" I love how the prisoner guard acted. Like, she's like, "Girl, I've been here for so long. Get out of here." I was so happy when that happened. But and then at the end of that scene with the professor, you see her like walking off, and then she has that smug smile. I'm like, that didn't even need to happen because it wasn't really confrontational. So let's move on to Jessica's storyline where she has to go to that trade guy, Stu, and she tries to convince him to get back the stock that they bought from Nathan Burns earlier. And that was hilarious. Like, Stu was just hitting on her the entire time. "Do you want to go out to dinner?" And she's like, "No, you first get on my good side and then you take me out to dinner." And then later he goes to her and he's like, "I want to make you my new lawyer. You want to be my new lawyer?" Wait, does he actually sound like... Am I trying to do a Boston accent? Shit, guys, I'm sorry. And the part where he says, "So, do you want to be my lawyer?" And she actually does find him to be honest. And where she's like, "You stop messing with Louis Litt if you want to get on my good side and you want us to take you as a client." I really like that. I don't know if I see them as a romantic couple, though. He seems so young compared to Jessica, or maybe he looks younger. Plus, Jessica is so much more taller than Stu. So let's move on to Lewis's storyline, which, as always, is hilarious. He tries to get rid of those guys by giving an architect the job to, like, build borders, and she completely gets him. and both of them click on a level. But I feel like he's gonna mess it up like he does everything in his life. Like, Lewis just messes up every good thing happening in his entire life. Did you see him sniff her when she's talking about the new blueprints for the floor she made? I'm like, Lewis, you're such a creep. And then he's like, do you want to build my summer villa? My summer villa, please, please, come to my summer villa. We can talk over it the entire time. And she's like, are you sure? But I don't do residential. It's gonna be our new satellite. I just need you to come to our my summer villa. And then she's like, okay, sure, I look forward to working on this. And then he's like, yeah. I don't know, I really hope he doesn't mess it up, because whenever they do Lewis being romantic, he gets so heartbreaking like the last time they did it. I just don't really need to see that again. Not because I feel empathetic towards him, just because I don't care if he does go through that again. It won't feel the same. So I wonder where the comedy's gonna come from. Maybe from the architect storyline, but I really do want to see Lewis get messed with from Stu. And moving on to when Harvey pulls some strings with Sean Cahill and then gets Mike drugged, and then they just bring him to get laid with Rachel, so he'll be like, Rachel was so good in bed. Yeah, I want to take the deal, guys. It's an awesome deal. Like, was that really Harvey's plan? You know what he needs, Sean? You know what he needs, Donna? I need to get him to Rachel, because Rachel has the good stuff. Like, was that really what the whole plan was reliant on? That was kind of hilarious and kind of stupid, but it did work. And it really gets me that Mike was being so loyal before, and he wouldn't even talk to Harvey, but then he just comes out after, like, sleeping with Rachel, and he's like, I'm ready to take the deal because that was awesome! So that was the only part that kind of got me in the episode. But overall, really solid episode. I'm looking forward to the next episode. And guys, tell me what you thought about this episode. Like, comment, subscribe.